So, wrapping up my month of August, spirituality, enlightenment, non duality related videos. I just have today and tomorrow. Like all big challenges, I'm going to miss it, and I'm also extremely relieved that it's about to be over. But how do I want to touch back down to the ground with all these exciting adventures that I've gone to? Well, one of the things for today I just want to talk about, again, one of those somewhat very obvious truths that is just a difficult one to confront, but that there are enormous benefits to confronting. And that is that I do not own anything. Nothing belongs to me. From any sort of universal perspective. From the perspective of reality itself. There is nothing that is truly, purely, permanently mine. On the basic level of possessions, anything that I own, no matter how precious it is to me, no matter how expensive it was, no matter how much sentimental value it has, no matter how durable it is, it's not mine forever. A lot of it will be broken or lost or by myself disposed of at some point. It won't be in my possession anymore at that point. That's very obvious, but how much do I cling on to things? Or not so much anymore, but how much have I in the past with some level of supremely, universally, eternally mine desperation? This phone that I'm talking to right now, you can see a little bit of my hangnail, apologies. This phone that I'm talking to right now means the world to me. At least for functional day-to-day purposes. I use it constantly. And it's not really mine. It will break after a certain point, and I will get a new one. And whatever importance or even mental attachment I've developed to this one, it will fade probably pretty quickly. Now, of course, it's easy to say that when we're looking at objects. What about our status, our place in the world? I'm not entitled to my job. That can go at some point. It probably will go at some point by my own actions. I'm not entitled to my age. It's changing by the second. I'm not entitled to how I look. That will change. I'm not entitled to my own ideas. My own characteristics. Positive or negative. I don't own any of those. They're changing constantly, and even the ones that I do have were more or less given to me by genetics and life experience. Things that I didn't ultimately have control over. I don't own any of my ideas, partly also because ideas have been in the process of being evolved for years and years and years, so I only have the words to describe experience from listening to people that have already had experience. I can only articulate my thoughts in the way that I can because language has evolved so much over the years. Over all of the history of language. Any accomplishment that I have, can make me feel good, feel accomplished. But you don't have accomplishments without opportunity. And opportunity is determined by a lot of things outside of your control. And accomplishments aren't permanent either. Who's keeping record of accomplishments? Some people, and then as time goes on, fewer and fewer people. And then come a few centuries from now, which accomplishments persist for anybody. Even if people remember them, the people who accomplished them are gone. So they didn't really own that. All of these paths of what do I own, you can make all the reasons and justifications in the world for why no, this thing actually is mine by some relative agreement among people on Earth, sure. But we will all leave this Earth at some point. Like Sam Harris says, you will lose everything. I will lose everything. Nothing of this person's life will stay once this person's life is over. There's no such thing as eternal ownership. And then the one that we don't like to think about too much, and you can turn off the video now if you don't want to go into this territory. You've already gotten the point from me in 7 minutes, but relationships with people. We've all had what seemed like a sacred and should be permanent relationship stop for some reason, and we all went through the discombobulation of recomputing our brain to imagine life without that person. For any number of reasons. And even the people, if there are any in your life that you're born, there they are, you live your entire life, and there they are, right as you're departing, you then depart. There is guaranteed loss of everything, because life is going to end. And I can spend all my life, and I've spent a lot of my life up until now, denying all of this, or pushing that thought away when it gets uncomfortable. But the full embrace of it, and the full undemonizing of that idea of universal loss, that actually increases well-being by a lot. I know the terms of all of this very clearly. It's like I don't have a deed with the universe saying that I get to keep this person that I am. I'm renting him. I have a lifelong lease on him. And I will have to give him up at some point. Counter to all of this, it's true I don't own anything. And at the same time, this is all mine. The image of the street in front of me right now is mine. The feeling of being Joe Cullen is mine. Every experience I ever have, both good and bad, is mine. Even at a temporary level. I can get super picky about, no, I wish for this experience and not that experience. But what if I just had pure ownership of all experience that I get to have? And the things that I do have permanently, actually, because they don't belong to Joe. I have awareness. And that's impersonal, and that is eternal. This month-long video challenge isn't mine because it's going to come to an end. And like I said, lots of relief in that. And, gonna take some getting used to.